Z was not a normal cleaner. She looked human from far, but she was not. Z was a tiny alien, only 90 centimeters tall, with smooth gray skin and big green eyes. She wore a small uniform, a cap, and soft shoes to make no noise. She came from afar. Planet Tiri 7, where she was a cleaning bot in training. Now she was living on Earth, hiding in plain sight. She worked in a quiet human house, cleaning every room carefully. Her mission was simple: observe and report, but today ... Something was wrong. Z stood at the hallway, holding her little cleaning scanner. The house was empty. The humans had left 2 hours ago. No noise. No movement. She walked into the kitchen. Dust, 2%. Floor, clean, she said in a soft robotic tone. She moved into the living room, climbed a small stool, and cleaned the top shelf. Everything okay? She whispered. But then, thump, a sound came from upstairs. Z. I stopped. She listened. Nothing. Maybe ... old pipe? She said to herself, blinking twice. Z walked up the stairs slowly. Her scanner beeped softly. She looked left, then right. Rooms were clean, empty. Then she reached the guest room. The door was open, just a little. Z pushed it slowly. The room was quiet. Sunlight came through the window. Everything looked normal until she saw it. The blanket on the bed was moving, just a little. Just a small lift at one corner. Z tilted her head. No pets here. No wind, so why move? She said. She scanned the bed. No life signs, but still, the blanket moved again. This time, like something breathed under it. Z stepped closer. She reached out with her cleaning stick. She poked the blanket once. Nothing. She poked it again. Suddenly, the blanket twitched. Z jumped back. Her heart, or whatever Tiri 7 aliens had for a heart, began to beat fast. She looked at the door. She could run. She could hide. But something in her said no. She pressed a button on her belt. Her hand changed into a light tool, a soft laser. Cutter. She slowly pulled the blanket. And then she saw it. 2 big yellow eyes stared at her. They did not blink. A thin face, pale skin, tiny hands, not human. Not animal, alien, like her. Z gasped. Who are you? She said, stepping back. The figure under the blanket sat up slowly. His body was hurt. A cut on his side. He was shaking. He opened his mouth. His voice was dry and slow. Don't scream. Please. Z was frozen. This was not part of her mission. She was not trained for this. You ... from Tiri 7? She asked. The alien nodded weakly. My name is ... Vorn. I escaped. They followed me. Who followed you? Vorn looked at the window. His voice shook. Hunters. Z felt her legs go weak. The word hunters was known in her training. Alien catchers. Dangerous. Silent. Unseen. They didn't care who they took. Good or bad, innocent or guilty, all aliens were their targets. Z looked around the room. The window was closed. No one outside. But for how long? She walked to Vorn and touched his arm. You hurt. I help, she said. But you tell me. Truth. Vorn looked into her eyes. I was in a lab, this house. Long ago, I came back to find a signal. But they were already near. I ran. I hid here. Please, don't let them find me. Z felt fear and confusion. She came here only to clean and observe. Nothing more. But now, something bigger had started. Something strange was hiding in this house. Something hidden behind walls, in the past, or maybe in the basement. She looked at the moving blanket again. It was still now. But outside the room, she suddenly heard ... a floorboard creak. Z froze. Someone was downstairs. Asterisk ... still. Z. I stood like a statue, holding her breath. The sound of the floorboard creak echoed again, soft, but clear. Someone was in the house. She looked at Vorn. He was still weak, sitting up in the bed, his yellow eyes full of fear. Did they find you? She whispered. Vorn didn't answer. He just stared at the door, and then slowly nodded. Z's scanner beeped. It picked up 2 life signs. One was Vorn. The other was moving slowly up the stairs. Step. Step. Stop. Z had only seconds. She pressed her belt. Her tiny body shimmered and vanished. It was her cloaking tech. Temporary. Weak. But it worked. She whispered to Vorn, "Stay quiet." No sound. She moved fast and silent, hiding behind the wardrobe. The bedroom door creaked open. A tall man stepped in, black boots, long coat, no sound when he walked. But Z could see from her scanner he was not fully human. He scanned the room with strange blue eyes. He saw Vorn on the bed. He smiled. But it was not a kind smile. "There you are," he said in a cold, sharp voice. "Took you long enough to wake up." Vorn stayed silent. The man stepped closer. "I could smell your blood the moment I entered the house." Z's heart raced. The man didn't know she was there. Not yet. She watched closely. Something about him felt wrong. His movements too smooth. His skin too perfect, like a machine. Was he a hunter? Or something worse? Suddenly, Vorn spoke. His voice weak but angry. "I won't go back." The man tilted his head. "Oh, but you never left. You brought them here, all of them." Z didn't understand. Them. Who was them? She moved slightly. Enough to point her micro-laser at the man's back. One blast wouldn't stop him, but it might slow him. She counted. 3, 2, 1 before she could fire. The man turned, straight at her. "You think I don't see you, little cleaner?" he said. Z's cloak dropped. She froze. His eyes, now glowing, scanned her body. "Tier 7 model," he said with interest. "I didn't expect 2 in the same house." Vorn yelled, "Run, Z." Z fired her laser. A flash of blue light hit the man's arm, burning the coat but not stopping him. He laughed. "Cute." Z grabbed Vorn's hand. She pressed the emergency warp button on her belt. Poof. They vanished. Right as the man lunged forward, they landed in the attic. Dark, dusty, full of old boxes. But safe, for now. Z collapsed for a moment, breathing. Dvorn coughed. His side was bleeding more now. Z opened a small med kit. She wasn't a doctor, but she knew how to patch wounds. As she worked, she asked, "Who was that?" Vorn looked at her. "He's called the Hunter. He works with humans, tracks escaped aliens. He doesn't want to take me back." "Then what?" Vorn's voice dropped. "He wants the signal." Z paused. "What signal?" Vorn pointed down, below the floor. "There's something buried under this house. Old tech. A beacon. It sends a call. To somewhere far." Z's mind raced. Was the house just a normal place? Or had it been something else, long ago? She looked down at the floorboards. She had a feeling. This house had many secrets, and this was just the beginning. The attic was silent, but not peaceful. Z sat beside Vorn, her eyes not blinking, her scanner in hand. Dust floated in the air like tiny ghosts. The wooden floor creaked gently under their weight, but it wasn't the dust or silence that bothered Z. It was the strange warmth coming from the floor below. Them. She pressed her palm to the attic boards. Warm, slightly vibrating. "There's something under this house," she whispered. Vorn nodded slowly. His wound was wrapped now, but his body still trembled. "I told you," he said. "There's a signal. A beacon." Z looked at him carefully. "Why here? Why this house?" Vorn didn't answer at first. Then he said, "Because this house was never just a house." 35 years ago. Z's scanner showed a faint history log, not exact, but enough. This place had been a testing center, hidden inside a normal human home. Scientists lived here. Some of them worked with alien tech. Some knew about creatures from other planets and tried to control them. But one day, The lab was shut down, everything sealed. Records deleted. Only the house remained. Silent. Sleeping. Waiting. Z stood up and walked. Around the attic. Her hand touched a wooden beam, and suddenly her fingers felt a sharp click. A small square panel popped open. Inside it was something not human-made. A tiny triangle-shaped device glowed with blue light. It pulsed. Like a heartbeat. Z stared at it. "This is old Teary tech," she said softly. "Very old." Vorn looked surprised. "How do you know?" Z touched the side of her head. "My memory chip is half military. I was made to clean labs like this." She scanned the triangle. It was part of a larger map, hidden below the house. Multiple sealed doors, a tunnel, and one locked chamber. Directly under the basement, Z and Vorn climbed down from the attic quietly. The house was dark now. No lights, no voices. Z checked the scanner. No life signs near. The hunter was gone. For now. In the living room, Z found the entrance to the basement. It was hidden behind an old bookcase. She moved it with her small hands. Dust exploded in the air. Behind it was a steel door, completely smooth. No handle, no keyhole. Only a glowing circle in the center. Z placed her palm on it. Nothing happened. Vorn spoke from behind. "It needs a DNA match. Probably from the original scientists." Z shook her head. "Or a cleaner." She opened a small compartment on her belt and pulled out a silver keycard. Old, scratched, but real. She slid it through a hidden line near the door. A deep hum started. The steel door slowly began to open. Behind it was a dark staircase leading deep underground. Cold air hit Z's face. It didn't feel like a house anymore. It felt like a ship. As they walked down, lights flickered on one by one. The walls changed from stone to metal. Symbols glowed faintly. Alien writing. Half burned. Half hidden. I stopped at one panel and wiped the dust. The word lit up in Teary language. Experiment 12. Failed. Contained. Do not open. Vorn stepped back. "I've seen this before," he whispered. "They tried to create something smarter than both human and alien." Z looked at him. "Do you think it's still here?" A pause. Then Vorn said, "I hope not." "But even..." As he spoke, a soft noise came from deeper inside. Drip. Scratch. Click. Z. I looked down the long hallway. Her scanner began flashing red. Something was still alive in the hidden lab. And now it knew they were here. Dark hallway. Metal walls. No escape. Z held her scanner close, its red light blinking fast. Each blink meant danger. Beside her, Vorn limped slowly. His face was pale, eyes wide. He whispered, "We should not be here." But they were already too deep. The door behind them had closed on its own. Then it happened. Camera on the ceiling turned. Slowly. Clicked. Another one above the stairs. Click. Not fast. Not loud. But enough. Z stopped walking. Her eyes rose to the ceiling. "They're watching." "US," she said. Vorn nodded. "No, not they," he said. "It." They entered a large underground room. Old lab chairs. Broken glass. Dust and dried blood on the floor. Machines were dead. But some lights still blinked. Soft green pulses. Like breathing. In the center of the room stood a metal chair with arm straps. It was burnt. Like something broke free. Z scanned it. "Experiment 12, she said. "Whatever they made here." It lived, and it escaped. Suddenly, the screen on the far wall flickered to life. Old video logs began to play. Scientists, humans, talking fast. Scared. Log entry 78. Subject is learning. Too fast. It mimics, adapts, watches us when we think it's sleeping. Log entry 79. We tried to shut it down, but it spoke. In my voice. Log entry 80. It's not a child, it's a mirror. A hunter. It's still here, and it's waiting. The screen went black. Z stepped back. Her voice was quiet. It never left. Vorn was shaking now. We have to leave now. But the door behind them hissed shut again, and from the shadows came a sound, not footsteps, not breathing. Imitation. A soft voice said, Z, Z. The voice was hers. She turned sharply. Nothing. But her scanner flashed. Movement behind the wall. The voice came again, closer now. I see you, Vorn panicked. It knows your name. It watched us the moment we came in. Z gritted her teeth. Let it watch. I'll watch back. She turned her scanner to full mode, pulse tracking. One signal lit up. On the ceiling, she aimed her light upward. Something moved. Fast, crawling across the ceiling. Thin arms, pale skin. Its face hidden in shadow, but it had no eyes. It didn't need them. It already knew them. Z pulled Vorn behind a broken table. We're not dealing with a hunter, she whispered. Vorn's voice cracked. No, this one was made here, in this house, in this lab. Z felt a chill inside her. This house is not just watching, it's alive. The thing above growled softly, like it was learning their fear. Every move, every breath, it copied. Lab's final project was not a weapon. It was a spy, and now it wanted out. Boom, boom. No alarms. Just the sound of Z's own heart, loud inside her small chest. She and Vorn ran through the lower corridor of the hidden lab. Lights above flickered like nervous eyes. Behind them, the watcher crawled silently through. The air vents copying their every sound, even their screams. They reached a heavy blast door. Old, rusted, but sealed tight. Z held her wrist device close. A red light glowed. It blinked 3 times. Then turned green. Door unlocking. His SSS's steam escaped the sides. The door opened with a slow groan. Behind it, a massive chamber. Silent. Cold. And glowing from the center. The signal tower. It wasn't tall, only 3 meters, but its design was not human. It floated slightly above the floor, spinning slowly, humming like it was alive. Blue rings circled around it like orbiting moons. Z stepped forward, eyes wide. This is not from Tier 7. Vorn stared too. No, it's older. Much older. This wasn't made by us or by humans. Z touched its surface, warm, vibrating, almost like skin. A screen appeared. Text flashed in an unknown language, but her scanner translated quickly. Galactic Signal Node, Unit 1A, linked 4 active receivers. Vorn read it aloud. 4 receivers. That means this beacon is still connected, still sending messages across the galaxy. Z's eyes narrowed. To who? Suddenly, the tower began to glow brighter. A voice echoed from inside the room. Link confirmed. New subject detected. Z turned fast. It's talking to us. But the tower wasn't just talking. It was scanning. A beam of light swept the room. It passed over Z, then VORN. It stopped. Focused on Vorn. Z's scanner beeped wildly. DNM match detected. Subject. ID handler node. Z stepped back. Handler? What does that mean? Vorn didn't answer. He looked frozen. Like he suddenly remembered something. Something buried, Z repeated. Vorn, what does it mean? He turned to her slowly. His voice was low. I didn't come here by accident. Z stared at him. What? Vorn looked at the signal tower. I was part of the project. Long ago, before the lab was shut. I wasn't just hiding here. He pointed to the beacon. I came to activate it. Z's hands shook. You lied to me. Vorn stepped closer, pleading. I didn't remember at first, but the signal, it called me back. I was made to be its key. The beacon's rings spun faster now. A deep voice echoed again. Transmission. Zending. Z's scanner screamed. Coordinates locked. Something is coming. Z stepped forward and raised her tool. We have to shut it down. Vorn blocked her. No, if we destroy it now, we'll never know what it contacted. Z's eyes locked with his. What if it didn't call help? Silence. Z said the words they both feared. What if it called the hunters? The walls vibrated. Watcher was near again, crawling through the vent, sniffing their fear. Z aimed at the tower. Her finger hovered over the trigger. Last chance, Vorn. Do we destroy it? Or do we wait and face whatever's coming? The lights dimmed. And the beacon spoke once more. Arrival, 14 minutes. Asterisk, tick, tick. 14 minutes left. The alien signal tower glowed in the center of the dark lab. Its rings spun faster now. The room buzzed with energy. Z stood still, her eyes locked on Vorn. She didn't see an injured alien anymore. She saw a stranger, a possible liar. Z's hand hovered near her belt, over the emergency stun tool. Vorn. Noticed, you don't trust me, he said softly. Z didn't answer. Instead, she took one small step back and asked, "Why didn't you tell me everything?" Vorn lowered his eyes. "I didn't know." "Not fully. I remembered only after we reached the tower." Z's scanner buzzed again, not from the tower, from Vorn's coat. She narrowed her eyes. "Take off your coat." Vorn froze. Z stepped forward. "Take it off." He removed the coat slowly. Inside, on the back collar, hidden in the stitching, was a black chip. Z pulled it out. Her fingers shook. She scanned it. Encrypted tracker owner, Central Hunter UNIT. She stared at him. "Your coat is tagged." Vorn looked confused, scared. "No, I didn't put that there." Z stepped back. "You led them here," Vorn shouted. "No, I didn't know." "I didn't." She cut him off. "You're the reason the hunter found the house. You're the reason it's coming." The signal tower beeped loudly again. Arrival, 9 minutes. She's breathing grew fast. She thought back. The strange delay before Vorn answered questions. How the lab doors opened, just in time for them. The way the Watcher followed them so easily. It all pointed to one truth. Someone was guiding it. She stared at Vorn. "You weren't running from the hunters," she said. "You were leading me to this place." Vorn's voice broke. "I didn't mean to. I swear, Z. I was part of the old experiments, yes, but I forgot. They erased pieces of my mind." Z's eyes narrowed. Or maybe they just left enough to let you bring someone like me here. Suddenly, the tower's rings pulsed red. A new voice echoed. "Subject Z confirmed. Cleaner class, capture priority. 01. Z's eyes widened. It wasn't tracking Vorn. It was tracking her. Vorn fell to his knees. "No, I didn't know. I thought I was the target. But it was always you." Z stood frozen. The beacon didn't care about Vorn. It had been waiting for her. She whispered to herself, "They don't want to destroy me. They want to use me." Then she made a choice. Z pulled a small core from her belt. A self-destruct capsule used for field tech disposal. She looked at Vorn. No more signals. No more lies. She ran toward the tower. Vorn screamed, "No! We need it!" Too late. Z slapped the core onto the tower's base and hit the timer. 10 seconds. Red lights exploded across the room. The Watcher screamed from the vents. It began smashing through the wall, faster than ever before. Z grabbed Vorn and ran. The countdown echoed in her ears. 5, 4, 3. They reached the outer hallway just as a blast of light burst from the lab. The tower was gone, the beacon destroyed, and with it, the signal. Silence returned. Z and Vorn lay on the floor, breathing hard. Alive, but not safe. Vorn looked at her, tears in his eyes. "I didn't mean to betray you." Z didn't look back. "I don't care what you meant," she said. "I care what's still coming, because even though the signal was gone, something had already heard it, and now it was almost here." The silence was heavy. No alarms, no signals, only the sound of footsteps. Z's heart pounded. Her small body was tense like a coiled spring. The hunter was closer than ever. Vorn limped beside her, weak but awake. His eyes darted around. The dark hallway. "We can't run forever," he whispered. Z shook her head. "No, we fight, here." She pulled out her small toolkit. Simple cleaning tools turned weapons. A mop handle. A thin laser cutter. A vial of strange liquid. "This house is our trap now." The corridor lights flickered. From the shadows, the hunter appeared, tall, silent, deadly. His glowing eyes locked on Z. "End of the line," he said coldly. Z didn't flinch. She set her trap. A small device on the floor, an EMP bomb. Vorn held his breath. Z whispered, "When he steps here, everything stops." The hunter moved closer, slow and sure. Then a sound from above. The watcher. It dropped from the ceiling. A pale, eyeless figure. Z's trap was ready. She hit the trigger. Boom! A pulse of light flashed. The hunter froze. Machines around shut. Down. The watcher screamed, caught in the pulse. Z grabbed Vorn's hand. "Run!" They dashed to the basement door. Z punched the code on her belt. Door slid open. Outside, a ship waited. Lights bright. Engines humming. Their rescue or their capture. Z hesitated. Vorn looked at her. "We made it." But Z knew the truth. This was not freedom. It was a new mission. And a new battle. She stepped into the light. The ship's door closed behind them. And above the house, silent watchers waited. The galaxy was watching, and Z was ready.